Okay. Because just as I started hitting go live on everything, Momo's like, hey, excuse me, lady, I got to pee. So, sorry about that, you guys. We're trying to get our shit together here. We've been running behind today for everything. So I do apologize. Had every intention of starting sooner, but you know, some days it just doesn't work out that way. Which is why I'm hesitant to change the stream start time. Because, you know, I will forever be running late if I push it up early. Okay. So, we are back to working on our needle felting with Bob Ross, following his painting tutorials for season 3. The link to this tutorial in full is gonna be pinned in the comments. We have a yarn flamingo icon for the chat now. Excuse me. Alright, so when we last left off, side note, I won't be able to use my thumb protector today because my thumb is still fucked up, so we're just going to be careful. I can't get that on over it and make sure that what's going on here doesn't get disturbed. And I'm trying to keep that relatively clean. It's pretty icky, so it's slowly getting better. It doesn't appear to be infected or anything, but we want to keep it that way. I do have the fan on because it is insanely warm in here. So there might be a slight wind noise. Okay. Now, when we last left off, we had just finished highlighting our shrubs in here, and we're going to see what Bob wants us to do next and see if we can figure out a way to do it. So I do have it muted, but we do have closed captioning on. So he's going to take some brown and kind of put some lines in there that kind of look like logs. Okay, I think we can do that. That should be simple enough, right? Did you take clothespins?
Yeah.
Sorry, husband was taking doggy blankets out. Sorry for the bang. I kind of wish we could bring the camera forward a little bit, because this is very far away from me to be able to work with. I'm gonna have to talk to him about the camera placement, because he helped secure the arm for it. Actually, let me see if... Ooh. Hey. Why are we not live on that screen, but we're live on that screen? Okay, let me see if I can get up in here to fuss with this. The arm's gonna be shaking a little bit. I'm probably going to have to adjust the zoom here. Who's being silly now? Someone's being silly. Is it you? I've got so many different points on this camera. Arm that can move. What? That wasn't supposed to happen. You're gonna stay? Still not quite where I want you to be. Which is kind of frustrating. That's still not where I want you to be. See, I've got a shelf there at the top. Alright, I'm gonna put the autofocus back on just for a minute while we're doing this. Okay, that would be pretty good if I can get it locked there. But I don't... Shit. I can see it.
Oh, did it move again?
Nope, that's not where I want you to be. It's too far up.
Okay.
It needs to come down.
We'll just scoot for a second, I'll adjust it. Just have to...
Because I'm reaching so far away.
How's that?
If it stays...
Is that fine?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think. Nope.
Yeah, that was a loose connection, so I think it dropped. There you go. It's probably as good as it's going to get for now. There you go.
Let's see if we can roll with it like that. Sorry for the live adjustments, but, you know, sometimes that has to happen. that's where that needs to be. Alright, I'm gonna take autofocus back off. Alright, let's roll with that. So we're gonna put some loggy guys in here. Or we're gonna try to. Okay. So I'm gonna like trim this guy before I attempt to really get him in there. Alright. So I kind of just need to make some guys that kind of look like logs piled up. So that way we get some sort of idea about what the heck we're doing. And I forgot to put the other light on. There we go. That's very yellow. I think we were operating on that one. Okay. So, we're gonna roll this guy. And that guy's a little big. We'll see what we can do here. It might not look all that big once we start. Oop. That is why we have finger protectors. It might not really look all that big once we start tamping it. Tamping, tapping, stabbing. Whatever you want to call it. Okay, and then this guy here, kind of down a thumb here right now. Okay, so we'll kind of maybe get you in there a bit. Alright, so maybe just a teeny bit more, like we don't want to overdo. On our loggy guys here. Excuse me. So, you know, just however you would like to see these guys piled up in here. Really is what that's gonna come down to. Maybe we'll do one little guy just kind of sticking up here. Well, we tried to do a little guy sticking up there. Sometimes it works out, and sometimes it doesn't. Okay. Alright, now put our dark brown to the side for a moment. So now we have to start filling in our color in here. So, oh, I never did fluff more of that color. What is this? Wine. I think we'll be okay for right now. Oh, that's my fluffing finger. Oh no. That could be a problem. I might have to get some cardboard to use as a backing if we have to fluff more of this. Before my finger can handle it. Because what I did to it is right on the tip of my thumb. Let me see here. Look out, flamingo. Where is your... I mean, it helps light that side up. Does it only make a noise on the white version though, I wonder? So it only makes that obnoxious noise when it's on the white.
What's that?
This ring light, the new one that was making the buzzing, it's only making the buzzing when it's on the white mode.
On the white mode?
Yeah.
Huh. Okay, well, I guess that solves the question of which mode should you use.
Right now I've got the multicolor rainbow dancing halfway around the ring, and it looks like the white mode.
On camera?
Yeah.
Oh, that works then.
Right? Like you don't see a color shift.
I don't see any kind of color shift.
Like you don't notice any flashing or anything,
Nope.
right? Huh. Fascinating. As long as it's not flashing on camera, that will do for our purposes. Okay. I can live with that as long as it's not being flashy on the screen. I mean, I can see the flashing because it's rotating around on the ring light. But as long as it's not coming across, then that's more than fine. So it's another large color swath day, and I do apologize for that, but that's how these things go. Sometimes it's easier to block in the larger sections of color as we get to that area, especially if I have to have specific things in specific sections. Okay. So everybody's weekend is going well. Sorry for the slightly chaotic start to the stream today, between the doggo needing to go out and then me not being quite happy with the camera placement. It's just, it's hard to do this at extension. And I realized that that's what was gonna happen. When we could just adjust, or try to adjust, the angle of the camera. The camera's a little heavy, so sometimes the arm likes to slip from where we've placed it. But we'll see how that angle treats us here. I do have a fan running. I do sort of apologize for that, but it's warm in here, so I need my fan. Sorry. Okay. So, tell you, it is rather warm here today. It's 75 at the moment. It's a little toasty for February for this area. bit of a surprise. I mean, we have some strange winters sometimes, but I remember last winter there were days where we were in -20 wind chill, and now it's 75. But the good news is that Tuesday it's going to be 85 supposedly with a low of 27, I believe, or 30, something like that. And then Wednesday will be 48 degrees, which is a little closer to what it should be for this time of year. So the warm weather's making me want to start planting our seeds outside. However, we're not done with the below 30 degree temperatures, so I kind of can't. We really couldn't until sometime next month or April anyway, because we need to finish getting our planter boxes ready, and we think we might need another planter box. Do I need to plant those, or they have some kind of sealer on them?
Plant what?
Plant those. Paint? Do I need to paint those? Sorry.
I don't know. Probably not.
Like, I didn't know if that was raw wood or if it was finished wood.
I'm not entirely sure, but it might be treated.
Okay. I just didn't know if we needed to, like, try to slap some outdoor paint on there, or, like, polyurethane or something.
Honestly, I'd rather just leave it be.
Okay. Going to brush that bit down there. Probably a good idea to turn our mat now. I'm going to turn that every so often. It looks like KofiBot has joined us today. All of the bots are present. Stream Elements joined us. Moobot's here. Everybody's here today. Husband has had a busy day, so he hasn't had the chance to look at stream avatars yet. Maybe tomorrow night he can do some work on it. We'll have to see. We might have to take care of something tomorrow morning. And I don't know how much of a pain that is going to be. Or if it is going to be quick and painless. Okay. I do see a small thin spot right there that I want to take care of. Or not really a thin spot, but like a section that didn't get filled in right in there. Okay. Oh, there it is. I was gonna say, I thought we had another piece here. We do. It was trying to sneak away on us, that's all. That's all. Oh yeah, this side's starting to get stretched out a little bit too, huh? Okay. So we'll get this start to be filled in here. And we'll see how this goes. I know that's not fully attached yet. Still kind of need to make a frame to hold our pads still. I mean, in all honesty, I could probably just make it out of cardboard and do some puff paint on the feet in the hopes of keeping it from walking. So that way I didn't have to buy the stretcher bars. That's something to consider. Did you remember to transfer that money last night?
Which money?
From my account to your account?
Let me double check. Oh, yes. Yes, I did.
Okay. When's that supposed to arrive?
I'm not sure. Let me check. Tuesday.
Okay. let's get that section filled in there. Now we're just using acrylic yarn. Nothing real special. You can use roving if you have it in the amounts that you're going to need and in the colors that you're going to need. Or if you're extra ambitious, I suppose you could dye it. I don't have the time or the energy to dye it, honestly. Just don't. And the acrylic yarn fits my budget and it's getting the job done, so why not? Might as well. I will say this monitor is very rocky, but that could also be because the stand it's on isn't completely on the shelf that I have it on, like the back side of it's hanging off a little bit. So that could be part of it. I mean, you guys aren't seeing it, but I'm like seeing it shimmy back and forth. At least you guys shouldn't be seeing it shaking. The camera shouldn't be touching anything that would. Okay. So this is always a little bit of the more time-consuming process, is putting in our background colors. Time-consuming, but still kind of sort of necessary. I do try to overlap each bit of fluff that I put in, especially for the background colors, just so it doesn't show any weird seamy things. Now, I did finish our marble painting yesterday off stream. I posted photos of that. I'm actually pretty happy with how the little pink one came out. I had to scrap the larger one because of the weird discoloration on the edge. Wasn't getting any better. But I kind of liked how the little one looked a bit better. I still have one more little one to paint. So we'll see if that weird discoloration happens on the other two. There had to be something on the desk that I just didn't see because I didn't heat tool all of them. I only used it on the one, so I don't think that was the reason. Unless it was tape residue or something from when it was in the box. Like, I don't know. Like, it could have been residue on my hands from me wiping it off on the baby wipe. That's also possible. That is so funny that it's not making that obnoxious noise in the RGB mode. Something about that part of the light is just angry. And for some reason, the other color lights only light up half the ring. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be like that. Because this is a light that we picked up on clearance. It was cheap enough where we're like, let's give it a shot. We haven't done a brush down here in a minute, so we should probably go ahead and do that. So I am using a small gauge needle. I'm sorry, I don't know the exact number of the needle. This set of needles just came as small, medium, and large. So it did not seem to indicate what gauge the small was anywhere that I could see. But I kind of prefer this single small needle to the other ones. I know some people like to use the multi-needles. There was a multi-needle that came with this toolkit. It had slots for up to, I think, 8 needles at once. Using all 8 really is exhausting for my arm. And I wasn't really feeling like we were getting anywhere faster using it. Because for me personally, what I was trying to do, it felt like we were missing sections. And it almost felt a little bit slower. Now, I haven't tried putting less needles in it. I mean, I guess we could try doing 3 in there instead of the 8, but then they're really going to be spread out. And I still don't think it's going to really save us any time. Like, not really. So we'll just kind of keep on trucking with what we got going on here. It's been working, so no real need to change what we're doing then. Alright. Why mess with something if what we're already doing is getting the job done, you know? Now, this isn't exactly a super fast medium, at least for me. And with how we are following these tutorials, it is a little bit slower. So completing one tutorial can take a few weeks depending on the intricacy and the detail level of the painting that he's doing. Like, in theory, this one shouldn't take too long, but it also depends on how long I have available for each session. And we are only doing this 2 days a week right now. Okay, so you can see we're slowly filling our way in down on that side. slowly. So most of today will probably be us doing this, because it does need to get done. Now, I didn't get the chance to get any video editing done last night, because quite honestly, I was exhausted. By the time I got done dinner, and we went for our walk, and I got the recording finished of finishing up the marble painting. Momo had me up at like around 6, and then I tried to go back to sleep, and I hadn't fallen asleep till almost like 1:32. I was tired, so didn't get any video editing done last night. I'll see what I can get done tonight. But I am so behind on editing. It is ridiculous. And Russell really can't help with the Chungosaurus edit. Number one, it's a lot. Number two, I had to get 2 of the videos in a weird way, because for some reason YouTube wouldn't let me download it from my own channel. Just those 2 specific videos, which was strange, because it let me download everything else from that series plus other videos, and I'm like, why? And I can't go back and pull them off of here, because at the level of affiliate I'm at, it's only holding stuff for 2 weeks, and those 2 weeks have long since passed. So I'm trying to download the videos as soon as I export them over to YouTube now, so in case there's a problem, I can try to re-export it. So we've learned that lesson. Like, live and learn, right? I'm not entirely sure what the problem is. Like, even several weeks later, after my previous attempts, it's still not letting me, so I'm like, what's the problem? I run into this every so often, but the last time this happened, it did eventually let me download them. These 2, it's just not. So it's been a little bit annoying. And I'm not sure if the method I used to get those other 2 videos is actually going to work out. There's probably going to be a difference. I just don't know how noticeable it's going to be. Until I get it into the editing software. Husband even tried to grab it, and he was not successful. And I'm like, what the hell? So it's rather annoying that had to go through all this extra nonsense just to try to get my own video. So our edges are probably going to be a little uneven. We can try to clean that up when we get to that stage at the end. Okay, so let's pop this guy up. Okay, so we're working on filling in this section because now see, Bob's already got it filled in, so we're a little behind in that respect. Like, he's got his base coat on, and now he's kind of coming in with like the dark brown. He was kind of like making some shadowed pathway. And then he's gonna highlight it a bit. Just want to see. Okay, so we might add a couple more logs to that. that is something that we can attempt to do. So he grabbed Indian yellow and permanent red. And he's kind of adding some grassy dews on in there, just to kind of frame out around this pathway. And he kind of brings that pretty much all the way forward. Sorry, I had a piece of fuzz in my mouth. Not quite sure how that happened, but it did. Oh, sorry, I keep forgetting. Hovering over that is blocking the view. Okay, so we're gonna come all the way back. We're kind of looking for that, basically. So that's kind of why we're on this stage of the process. Working on filling this in. And I will more than likely need to fluff more of this color. In order for us to finish it, because we still have to fill in all of this down here. Give me 1 second, you guys. Huh. I need to look up how to change the equalizer on these headphones, because it sounds a little off. And I can't remember how I do it. Now, it doesn't really matter if the overlap on this base color isn't the prettiest. I'm just trying to make sure we get all of the gray covered. because we're going to be coming back in with some grassy colors. And that might take a weekend or so to get that filled in with how we tend to do the grassy colors. So there will be another color coming in over top of this. Okay. So I'm going to go smaller bits here as we work our way around our water section here. Like, I'm not purposely trying to overlap my line here too much. Just want to make sure that we are at least up to line, because we'll be losing a little bit of this edge when we go to clean it up. Okay. Now, this edge doesn't have to be like super perfect or anything, because we are going to be filling in this section again with more of that same base color. I still have black paint under my fingernails from yesterday. It's wild. I scrubbed and scrubbed and scrubbed with a nail brush. It'll wear out eventually. I even trimmed down my nails yesterday to try to get to it. Got a little bit of it. Just the rest of it is being super stubborn. Didn't want to let go there for a second. For a slight second. I was starting to panic a little bit. I'm like, uh-oh. What the heck happened? We're good. We're good. So we're only gonna go till 4 today. Because I have to go and get dinner started. And dinner tonight's a little more involved than just something that's quicker. Like, it's not that much more involved, but we're having meatball subs tonight, and I have to ball out the pasta sauce and get the meatballs heated up in the sauce, and that's going to take a little bit. So just to give that some time to get going. Sorry, that piece looked like it needed a little more attention. Than we had originally given it. So, what do you guys want to do next Saturday? We can either do a Bob Ross Happy Trees, or we can work on painting some birdhouses. Or I'll have my spirograph that we could also play with. Now, I haven't picked up my binder yet to house our Bob Ross Happy Trees project. I still need to do that. I have no idea what I am listening to, but it sounds like opera music, and I didn't think I had anything like that on here. I'm gonna have to remove that song because it's very distracting every time it pops up, and I'm like, why are you here? Nothing against opera music, it's just not my thing. Okay. No, that piece of fuzz landing on the back of my hand totally just didn't startle the crap out of me. No. Why would it do that? That's silly. Okay. So we're getting there. It's slow, but you know. We got nowhere to be. We can go ahead and take our time. And I want to get both sides filled in before we start figuring out the grass situation, because we need to put our pathway in, which is what this was for, just so I could remember the whole point of this section. We're going to end up covering that up in a minute as we work our way over. Got my mile done on the treadmill today. So this week we did a mile on Monday. We skipped Tuesday. Did a mile on Wednesday, and I skipped Thursday. And then did a mile on Friday, Saturday, and today. So yay. The speed on the treadmill, that I'm walking at, my mile will usually vary between 25 to 35 minutes, depending on how long of a warm-up I take to get up to speed and to slow down. But yay. Trying to get us used to doing more walking, so that way when we go back to Florida in September, weather permitting, hopefully our feet won't be quite so unhappy. Oh boy. Those were some barking feet. Like, it didn't prevent us from doing anything. It was just there and annoying, so. Didn't let it stop us, though. We'll have a little bit more downtime this time. There's like two things that I definitely want to do. One is our flamingo that we already have booked, so that we have to do. And then the other thing is, we don't have it booked, but I want to make sure we do it because it's only going to happen once while we're there. And that is checking out one of the farmers markets that I didn't know they did. That might very well be happening while we're there. And it happens Thursday afternoons. And I was like, huh. Now, we had left Thursday morning and I didn't know anything about it till recently. But that sounds like fun to check out. And you know, it's something free to do to walk through there. Obviously not free if you end up buying something, but it's like doesn't charge an admission, so that's kind of cool. And it's really cool that it's in the afternoon and not at like the butt-ass crack of dawn. So that will give us time to ease into our day, since it'll be our first full day there. We'll be checking in on a Wednesday, late afternoon. So excited to go back. And I'm excited to get to do some stuff that we didn't do last time. Like, we're going to try to go to the beach at Fort Zachary State Park. There is an entrance fee, but it'll be like $5 to get in. And they've got different things that you can wander around. They've got a concession stand. Don't know how long we'll be able to sit still there, but he'll probably bring his phone to read. And I'm going to be getting a sketchbook just to dick around with for the trip. I'll still use it after the trip, but I might get a portable little table or something, or a lap desk that I can take with me. Haven't decided yet. I'm still looking at my options. So we'll see. But I've got a bunch of flamingo stickers that the husband picked up cheap, and I'm like, oh, I could put those on the outside. I put some on my little paintbrush cup. Paintbrush vase for the brushes that we are actively using at the moment. And I'm so weird about stickers. Like, I want stickers, I love them. But then I'm the type of person that's always afraid to use them because I'm like, but then I won't have them anymore. So they like sit in a drawer forever. And I know that's silly, but so like we got a couple, well, I got a couple of vinyl flamingo stickers, indoor outdoor, to put on the car, but I'm only going to put one of them on the car because I know at some point we'll have to get a different car when this one gives up the ghost. It's nowhere near it yet, but the thought's in the back of my brain, and I'm like, but then I'm going to need a sticker to put on that car. So I don't want to put all of them on this car. Even though, in theory, I could just go and get additional stickers before that happens, but my brain's like, no, we need to hold on to this for later. But that's okay, because I picked up a little pouchy thing that I wasn't sure what I was going to do with, because after we got home I realized it was a little small for some of my pencils. So all of my stickers are in here now. I have a flamingo pouch for my flamingo stickers, so I still might put some drawing supplies in there if I can fit them to take them with us when we go. I'll probably pick up something bigger because they had like a bigger version, I believe, but I wasn't sure what I would do with it. And now I know what I'll do with it, so I might grab a slightly larger one the next time we're down there if they have one that's got flamingos on it. Okay, remember we want to pop that guy up, and I'm just gonna brush that down just to make sure we're not getting too bunchy or divvity. Go. One of the tough things about wearing a light color in the fabric of the shirt that I have on is that this shirt loves to grab the loose fuzzes in the air. So I've got like this coating of burgundy fluff on this light blue tank top, and I'm like, oh geez. One of these days, I'll remember to get a lint roller. I think I don't really think to get them all that often, though, because they don't really seem to do very much in our house. I've got a couple of shirts that I could lint roll, and then within 5 minutes it'll just all be covered again. Okay. So, next up, we're going to kind of keep moving our way over, just so we don't get any weird bunching or anything happening. Or at least that's the hope. Like, I doubt we will, because we've gotten this section set up. But just want to make sure we don't jump around too much. So hope everybody's having a good weekend with whatever you are up to. We really haven't had the time to do much of anything this weekend. We've been busy dealing with everybody else's nonsense, so. Like, we've been busy. We got a late start this morning. Okay. Just gonna get that brushed down there. And I mean, you're gonna get some fluff embedded in your mats. It happens. You can either go through the trouble of hand plucking it out, or this particular mat, the maker actually suggests taking a razor and just, you know, razoring the top of it to try to get some of that excess. It happens. At least it happens with the yarn. Don't know if it would happen as much with the roving, but don't be too alarmed if that happens to you. Alright, so we're just kind of trying to fill in this part of our background so that we can move on to the next step. And this part is a little time consuming, kind of like how the top was. We don't really necessarily have to fill in the other red color down here though. We're gonna stay with this dark wine color. Wine, W-I-N-E. Realized I didn't quite enunciate that very well. Sounded like I said line. At least to me. Alright, so we've got a little bit of a thin section there. So that is actually filling in pretty good. Pretty happy with how that's coming along. Alright, so I've got a little, like we're a little bunchy in here, but it'll end up evening out as we get down to that section. Still feels like that's a little bit thin in there. Kofi Bot's just having a grand old time in here. Like we're gonna have our grassy bits coming in over top of this. But I just want to make sure that we are covered enough so we don't have too many big patches of gray showing through. Sorry, it's something on my monitor. I'm like, what is that? I have no idea what it was, but it came off, so yay, it wasn't paint. We haven't decorated this monitor yet. I'm sure it'll happen eventually. So yeah, we'll have to figure out what we want to do on next Saturday. If we want to do spirograph, if we want to do some birdhouses, because I've got 2 of those left. Or we can do a Barbara squash painting. We definitely have some options. So if you guys have a preference out of those three, feel free to let me know. Okay, so I'm just gonna brush this bit of fluff down in here. Just trying to get this side fully caught up to about here before we start moving on. All the loose fuzz down here, just put that off to the side. Did not think I had put this on this playlist, but okay. Sure. Okay. Went from Lindsey Sterling into steel drum. You guys can't hear it because copyright, but I'm gonna look into another program that has some backgroundy music that we might be able to do. I gotta see what all's required for it though. So no promises yet. I gotta see how much that's gonna be. Because while we're a little better off than we were before, we still have to follow our budget to a degree. Can't get too silly. Okay. Brush that section down there. And we're slowly making some steady progress here today. Not by leaps and bounds, but we got our little loggy friends in there. And we didn't have any of this middle section filled in, so we're almost halfway on that. Almost. Glad I figured out that other color setting didn't make that horrendous noise on the other ring lights, so we can have that going. Alright, so I'm just getting this piece of fuzz sorted here. Okay. So again, we'll overlap these guys a little bit. So we still need to make some progress. When you take that stuff back to your mom, can you take that oatmeal?
Oh yeah.
Were you gonna check the blankets on your way back?
Yeah.
Okay. We have a couple of Momo blankies that we had to run through the washer. And Russell wanted to hang them outside to dry. I'm not sure they're dry yet. Depends on which ones he threw into the washer. Okay. We're still kind of working on getting Momo straightened out with his UTI issue. The vet did say it might take a couple rounds of medication. So when he finishes up this round in a couple of days, we're gonna have to take another sample up to the vet so they can run another culture and see where we're at. I don't think we're anywhere near where we need to be at. I think we are probably going to need at least another round. Just kind of based off of how much he's been peeing lately, but We'll see. Alrighty. So that's not bad for one session there. We're a little bunchy, but it's not too bad. That'll even out as we move across here. So the plan for tomorrow is gonna be to finish filling in this section. If we manage to finish that with time left, we'll add a couple more logs to the fire. Excuse me, and then we'll start to add in our pathway. I don't know if we'll have time for that part tomorrow. Depends on if we get this side finished being filled in. So we will pick that up tomorrow. Not sure what time we'll be starting tomorrow, at least by 2. We might try to start a little sooner. We'll see what happens tomorrow morning. So I thank you guys for stopping in and hanging out this afternoon. Hope you enjoy the rest of your evening and that your week starts out smoothly. And don't forget to follow the links to all the socially places down below or wherever it is on the About page. It's somewhere. So that'll take you to the link for the YouTube channel, the Instagram, the Twitter, and the Ko-fi. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Until next time.